Darrell, my favorite example is around Visa that you've used.
Yep.
And as
Yep.
as soon as I heard this, the very first time, I was like, I get it. So I would really love you to, um, tell us a little bit more about this so everybody can understand exactly what's a minimum viable ecosystem in something that we'll be using every day.
Yeah. So there's actually another book. I'll throw that up to knock stuff over. Oh, I did it. This one's called One from Many by a guy named D. Hawk. I was fortunate enough. He was an advisor for MemberPass. I didn't get to meet the man. He passed away in his mid-90s just a couple years ago. But he's the founder of Visa. Now, Visa today is not Visa when it started. Visa when it started was actually utterly decentralized. It was created because Bank of America couldn't trust Barclays, couldn't trust this, couldn't trust that. I was around then when it was Barclays card and all these things. And they just didn't work anywhere. There's a reason when you see the Visa logo that you like it. Your brain says it'll work. That's all it needs. It's going to work. Visa started off, though, if you go look at Visa right now, our mutual friend Tony Rose showed me a map of the ecosystem today. There's like 50 or 60 distinct roles, meaning I can sign up as a vendor for one or more of those roles very specifically. And some of it is like literally the plastic provider. I do the physical card provider. I do the chip provider. I do the sign up of the merchant in the store. But they started out really relatively simple. And this is how, this whole sort of trust thing works, is that the bank issues me a card. I take the card, put it in my wallet. Nowadays, I add it to my Apple Wallet. But I'm holding this card. I don't have my wallet on me. Otherwise, I would. Oh, wait. I have props. This is a wallet. Hey, I even have a Visa card. I put this in my wallet, and I go to a merchant to buy something. I pull it out of my wallet, and I pay them. What do they understand? One, because I'm carrying it, this is my card. It would have been reported stolen or lost. Otherwise, there's obviously a time window that's not true, but just go with it. So this is my card. They swipe it, and they know that they're going to get paid by the issuing bank. That's not enough. That wasn't working. That was checks. Check will do that. It's literally from the bank to me, to the vendor, and they're like, well, how do I know Darrell has cash in the account? And it just doesn't work. Because you'll hear in the SSI world about a trust triangle, but the trust triangle is not enough, because you have the issuer, this issuer here, you have the holder, and you have the verifier, the merchant who wants to get paid. It's not enough. I need to trust someone else to run the network, and that's Visa. Visa makes it what we call a diamond, but they're the ones who set the rules that say, listen, you run this card through, and if it says Darrell's good for $1,500 for that purchase, he's good for it. Subject to the governance rules. If you sell Darrell a crappy product and he does a chargeback, we're taking the $1,500 back from you, type of thing. So it's all simple rules. I think they started out with 5 or 6 distinct roles in their minimum viable ecosystem, which again has evolved to at least 50. I was really impressed when Tony, I was like, wow. Like I had this little simplified diagram. He's like, no, it's nothing like that anymore, man. But they did that over time. And I think one of the things I've been saying is that if you take Visa, and Dan, this gets back to which blockchain do you use? You hear the blockchains talk about transactions per second. Visa has a ton. It's always the reference point, because Visa has 50,000 transactions per second, which they never quite hit around Christmas when they're busiest. You could take that technology that's running those TPS, and you could destroy it and say, Visa, you're not allowed to do that. And they could rebuild quickly, because there's technology. If I need fast, highly performant, global to scale, that is not a problem nowadays. That is normal. That is normal things to do. If you took their governance framework away, they're gone. They're literally dead. There is nothing there. Their number one IP is the governance that they operate under, which is, their minimum viable ecosystem is no longer minimal. It is now enormous, but it's all based on governance. those the intellectual property built into those governance frameworks and agreements, that's their asset. You take that, they're dead, truly, utterly gone.